I'm Merely Caruso. It's Tuesday, November 4th. Today.
The average Canadian, you're looking at this budget, you're going to say, well, it doesn't change my life very much.
Mark Carney's Liberals table its first budget, where he's spending more and where he's spending less. Also today, autonomy at stake.
We are free to make, our own land use, I would say our own municipal decisions.
The Manitoba city that's left the capital planning region. Plus, reading the signs.
Where we're waiting and hoping that they grow out of their reading difficulties.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. The federal government unveiled its budget today, the Liberals' first fiscal update in almost a year and the first for Prime Minister Mark Carney. Joining me now live is CTV's Taylor Brock. So Taylor, what does the average person need to know?
Well, Marilee, the big headline today is a projected deficit of more than $78 billion. We're seeing billions in new spending for infrastructure projects, the military and housing. This as the feds plan for $60 billion worth of public service cuts, including slashing 28,000 jobs over the next 5 years.
The budget I present today comes at a time of profound change, a time to build. The world is undergoing a series of fundamental shifts at a speed, scale, and scope not seen since the fall of the Berlin Wall.
The 2025-26 fiscal year's deficit is projected to be $78.3 billion. The federal finance minister says they're choosing to prioritize big-ticket projects over slashing the deficit. Now, over 5 years, the feds are planning for $32.5 billion of net new capital spending for things such as infrastructure, supporting emerging tech, and the Canadian military. Now, defense is actually one of the biggest expenditures in the budget, $81.8 billion over 5 years. That includes $20.4 billion for recruitment and retention, $10.9 billion for general upgrades, and $17.9 billion to expand military capabilities. Now, besides defense spending, $51 billion over 10 years to help fund new infrastructure projects, $1.7 billion for an international talent attraction strategy, and $13 billion over 5 years starting in 2025-26 for its Build Canada Homes plan. CTV's Jeff Keel is following the budget story today and will show you what it could mean for us here in Manitoba. You'll have those details on CTV News at 6.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Taylor. A child care center was sent into lockdown as gunshots rang out in the West Broadway area this morning. Police say multiple units were sent to the area of Furby Street and Cornish Avenue near Misericordia Health Center after several reports of shots being fired. Spent shell casings could be seen littering the sidewalk as police investigated. A spokesperson says a female was arrested but couldn't provide their name or age or say whether they had been charged. No injuries were reported. The Public Service is recommending the city start setting money aside in anticipation of snow clearing season. It wants councillors to approve a $7 million over expenditure for the Public Works Department. A city report says the money should be made ready to pay contractors in case there are some heavy snowfalls in the last quarter of this year. In its last multi-year budget, the city added incremental increases to the snow clearing budget, which has historically fallen short. The Public Service says without those changes, it would be asking for an over expenditure closer to $14.5 million. 3 people are facing charges after officers with the Manitoba First Nation Police Service were allegedly shot at during a chase Monday. RCMP say it all started around 4 a.m. when officers were attempting to stop a stolen vehicle in Sandy Bay First Nation. The vehicle failed to stop, and as it was driving away, officers say someone inside the vehicle shot at them. Mounties were called in to help, and about 10 hours later, the vehicle was found and brought to a stop near Silver Ridge, just east of Alonza. A man and 2 women between the ages of 21 and 35, all from Sandy Bay, were arrested. It's a plan to grow Winnipeg's economy and tourism sector. Winnipeg Economic Development and Tourism launched a new strategy today, the first event under its new unified name.
These are the real things that we have that set us apart from other places in the country.
A government minister, the mayor, and representatives from the private sector all gathered at the Leaf in Assiniboine Park for the unveiling. The agency collaborated with business, tourism, Indigenous, government, and community partners. The plans lay out 3 goals to boost competitiveness and increase investment, elevate Winnipeg's global profile, and get community partners and leaders working together to drive economic growth.
Today is about the multi-year, 5-year strategy that charts our path forward. The world is increasingly competitive. Canada's changing, Manitoba's changing, and Winnipeg has changed. And so how do we respond to that as an agency, as the lead agency for economic development and tourism within the city of Winnipeg?
Winnipeg Economic Development and Tourism is a new agency announced earlier this fall, combining economic development and tourism under one banner. A city of more than 10,000 people has pulled out of Manitoba's capital planning region. The city of Selkirk has officially now left the group. The Capital Planning Region, or CPR, is a group of several municipalities, including Winnipeg, Niverville, Stonewall, Headingley, and Springfield. It was created by the previous PC government. However, the Canoe government recently passed legislation giving municipalities the opportunity to opt in or out.
By leaving CPR, it restores our autonomy. We are free to make, our own land use, I would say our own municipal decisions. It ensures that our economic, environmental, and social development will be made by the locally elected council.
The CPR's mandate is to improve social and economic development by coordinating sustainable land use. Even though Selkirk won't be part of it, Mayor Larry Johansson says Selkirk will continue working alongside the provincial government. The current session of the Manitoba Legislative Assembly is supposed to end this Thursday, but MLAs may have to stay longer if the governing NDP isn't able to pass all of its legislation before then.
A significant amount of work has to occur on Thursday.
That work includes Bill 48, the drug detention bill. The PCs want a number of amendments added to the legislation. The standoff is preventing the legislation from moving forward. However, NDP House Leader Nahani Fontaine says the current session will continue as long as it takes. The PCs say they're in favor of the bill and just want to make sure it's done right.
And Manitobans can let me know, as the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party, where we are wrong in saying that we do not want this in front of a school, in a daycare, by a senior home, that there should be consultation and there should be reporting on this.
Meanwhile, a program aimed at catching reading difficulties in young children is being made permanent. Bill 225 passed its 3rd reading unanimously at the Manitoba Legislature earlier today. It means all students in kindergarten to grade 3 will be screened for learning disabilities such as dyslexia twice a year. Teachers will be required to report the results to parents within 30 days of the test.
Unfortunately, children can slip through the cracks right now, and what's often referred to as a wait to fail model, where we're waiting and hoping that they grow out of their reading difficulties. That happened with both of my children. I think if this would have been in place in kindergarten, they would have been flagged almost as soon as they walked into school, and we would have been able to provide them the support they needed.
Education Minister Tracy Schmidt says she'll work with school divisions and other groups to determine screening tools. It's expected to be in place in time for the school year next fall. The Blue Bombers won't be there, but Winnipeg's Princess Auto Stadium will absolutely be packed for the 2025 Grey Cup game. Today, the CFL announced the big game is officially sold out. And organizers say tickets to nearly all of the Grey Cup Festival events, including the CFL Awards and Gala Dinner, are also gone. It's another big win for the Winnipeg Football Club, which sold out every home game this season. The Grey Cup is taking place Sunday, November 16th, and if you can't be there in person, you can still watch the big game right here on CTV or on TSN. All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. What are you tracking for us tonight, Colleen?
Well, the action right now seems to be very close to the international border, and it's not a lot of action. At least we're on the northern edge of a much more rain falling on the other side of the border. I'll show you that. But as we look further north, you see the sky starts to clear. We will start to clear as well further south here as well. So I was mentioning off the top of the week that it was going to be a flip-flop kind of week, back and forth between sunshine and cloudy skies. Well, tomorrow we're back to the sunshine. It's what's coming after that I'm going to focus in on more closely too. Let's take a look right now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, that's a pretty sky. 5 degrees out there, light winds out of the west. The pressure is dropping and the humidity is 74%. Out in traffic on this Tuesday afternoon, a live look out onto the Provencher Bridge. Traffic moving smoothly in both directions.
Thanks, Colleen. A holiday tradition is about to light up the city again. A little later in the show, we're going to show you a walking trail featuring nearly 2 million lights. Plus, a Winnipeg brewery engulfed in flames. See where this weekend fire took place. More local news still ahead.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
People living in the prairies feel they're disproportionately impacted by U.S. tariffs, according to a new report by the Salvation Army. It found 69% of Manitoba households say they're directly impacted by the ongoing trade dispute, the highest rate in the country. 49% of respondents also said they're concerned about not having enough income to cover basic needs, 8 points higher than a year ago. Now, here's Marilla Fernandez with the Market Watch.
Shopify reported big gains in revenue and profit for its third quarter. Revenue came in at $2.8 billion U.S., which is a 32% increase from the same period last year. Gross profit was up 24%. Still, shares were down close to 7% by the end of the trading day. Shopify, of course, is a massive e-commerce company run out of Ottawa. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to $70.94. West Texas Intermediate crude is down 49 cents to $60.56. Western Canadian Select is up to $49.51. And the TSX sank almost 500 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
An investigation is underway after a structure at West End Brewery caught fire Saturday night. Emergency crews were called shortly before 8:30 p.m. to a large fire behind Good Neighbor Brewing Company. By the time they arrived, flames had stretched to overhead hydro wires and smoke spread to a neighboring apartment building. The blaze was declared under control roughly 45 minutes later. No injuries were reported. Farm, Fork, Pharma. That is the name of an upcoming event by the Winnipeg Humane Society. The speaking event hopes to shed light on the connection between factory farming and antibiotic resistance. It says industrial livestock production is fueling the rise of drug-resistant bacteria, posing a threat to humans, animals, and the environment.
We believe there are different ways that we can be raising animals for food that would not involve using antibiotics and therefore would decrease somewhat the risk of antibiotic resistance to humans. It's a huge, huge health issue.
The event is set to have expert speakers and explore solutions in regulation and animal welfare to tackle the problem. You can catch the free event tomorrow at 7 p.m. at Canadian Mennonite University.
Hey bartender, do you understand? I need a good woman and a rock and roll band.
Coming up, which Juno Award-winning band is coming to Winnipeg this April? The spotlight is next.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Absolute Britney, a tribute to Britney Spears.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and we begin today with the return of a Winnipeg holiday tradition.
We sure do. Zoo Lights is returning to Assiniboine Park Zoo. Zoo Lights features more than 1.75 million lights on 2 kilometers of walking trail. There's also fire pits, games, and Manitoba's largest light maze. There's also live entertainment with carolers, fire dancers, and light performers. And also look for Santa Claus visits nightly until December 23rd. Zoo Lights, presented by Red River Co-op, runs for 30 nights from November 21st through to January 1st, 2026. Tickets can be purchased online or at the zoo.
4-time Juno Award-winning band from the Prairies is coming to Winnipeg.
That's right. The Sheepdogs will be playing at the Burton Cummings Theatre.
Hey bartender, do you understand? I need a good woman and a rock and roll band.
Merrily, the band from Saskatoon has 13 releases with multiple gold and platinum records to their name. They've just announced a cross-Canada tour with a stop in Winnipeg on April 17th. Tickets for the Sheepdogs go on sale Friday at livenation.com. I caught their last show at the Burt Merrily. It was great.
Yeah, they are good.
Yeah.
Now to a 3-day showcase of African origin dance.
It's called the Moving Inspirations Dance Festival, and soon you'll have a chance to see what it's all about. The festival is set to get underway this Thursday with the first of 3 nights of gala performances. Each night will feature a lineup of both international and local artists. There will also be master classes and open dance classes offered for dancers of all levels, including beginners. Organizers say the Moving Inspirations Dance Festival will do just that, move you physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Whatever dance that you know, flamenco and so on, this is the only festival that bring everybody together. Actually, that is the goal of the festival, is to bring a community together.
The Moving Inspirations Dance Festival runs from November 6th through to the 8th. For more information, go to nafrodance.com.
Canadian band July Talk has an important anniversary coming up.
And you can help them celebrate when they perform here in Winnipeg. Next year will be the 10th anniversary of the band's second album, Touch. The album won the Juno Award. And in the decade that followed, July Talk won over a lot of fans with their music and live shows. They'll be performing at the Burton Cummings Theatre on March 20th. Tickets for the show are on sale through Ticketmaster.
A lot of good shows to take in.
Yeah, that'll be a good one, too.
Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Your primetime lineup starts at 7 with E-Talk and The Big Bang Theory. MasterChef Canada is on at 8. Catch The Traitors Canada at 9. And The Pit follows at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV. Very busy looking down at Donald Street. Lots of headlights down there in both directions. Or taillights, too. I guess a lot of those are. Folks leaving downtown. Lots heading in, though. Right now in the city, 5 degrees, light west winds. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Colleen Brady back now with your complete Skywatch forecast. Temperatures definitely starting to get cooler overnight.
And increasingly so in the coming days. By Friday, I mentioned this last night, no change by the time we get to Friday. Daytime highs won't even reach the freezing mark. There's a big reason for that, which I'll get to in just a moment, but I want to show you this right now. As I mentioned, any active weather is pretty much as far south as you can get in Manitoba and moving even further south. Here's what we're looking at, a band of rain that's now crossed the I-25, or the I-90, the I-29, that's the name of that highway there that takes you down to Grand Forks and Fargo. If you happen to be planning any traveling in the next few hours, the tail end of that rain is moving through that area and into Minnesota right now. So it misses us for the most part. It just skims you if you're right along the border in northwestern Ontario there in the next couple of hours. But beyond that, it moves on quickly. We clear out considerably, and that paves the way for sunshine. So we've been going back and forth this seesaw week. We had the sunshine a couple of days, well, yesterday, it seems like a couple of days ago already. Back to the clouds today. Sunshine returns throughout the day on Wednesday across much of the province, east into northwestern Ontario as well. But as we're basking in the sunshine here, out to the west, another clipper system will be forming, and by Thursday you'll be able to see a lot of precipitation moving into Saskatchewan in various forms: rain, snow, freezing rain, and some of that is going to make its way into Manitoba and southern Manitoba. In fact, for the most part, it misses the north. Bright and sunny up there, cloudy through central areas, but then we get that mix of rain and snow that comes through southern Manitoba, and that does include places places like Winnipeg. But starting off as showers, but don't be surprised if there's a little bit of snow mixing in there on Thursday. But for tonight, the sky clears out this evening. We drop below freezing down to -1. Winds at their strongest out of the northwest at 15 kilometers an hour. Bright and sunny tomorrow, Wednesday 5 degrees. Winds strengthen late in the afternoon to about 20 kilometers an hour out of the northwest, but that's only for a few hours. Showers are likely on Thursday, but you saw that futurecast. As I mentioned, don't be surprised if it turns into mixed precipitation, at least at times. We drop down to -4. Then we get to Friday, back into the sunshine or a mix of sun and cloud, but back into those cooler temperatures. -3 is the high, but that's closer to normal for this time of year. The weekend, a mix of sun and cloud throughout. -4 Saturday, up to -3 on Sunday, -1 on Monday, with yet another day bringing us a mix of sun and cloud. Our weather photos start here in Winnipeg. Wade said the reflections out on the water there in Island Lakes, that neighborhood, were perfect. I'd have to agree. Very tranquil looking there. And this photo is from Terry. This takes us out to the meeting of the Shell and Assiniboine Rivers right at Assisipi Provincial Park near the Saskatchewan border. Send us your photos to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The CTV Skywatch Pick of the Day is brought to you by the Manitoba Chiropractors Association. We've got your back.
The Fields of Honor at Brookside and Transcona cemeteries will soon be visited by hundreds of elementary school students. It's all part of an effort to honor those who have served and died by having students place poppies on the graves of veterans. The program is called No Stone Left Alone and is meant to teach youth the importance of Remembrance Day and participating in ceremony.
And we get over 600 students from grade 6 alone come to the cemetery. 14 school buses will be arriving at 9:30 tomorrow, and I'll tell you, it's a sight to behold.
Peter Martin, who is the coordinator of this initiative and a veterans advocate himself, says this program started 11 years ago. He says bringing students to the graves of veterans provides a first-hand learning experience of service and sacrifice, something textbooks cannot offer. Look at all that snow on the ground last year at this time, Colleen.
Not just yet.
Not just
we'll see
yet.
what Thursday brings with that next clipper coming through. But what a nice tradition that they've started.
It is
very important.
Yeah, and you know, very true statement. You can't learn in a textbook what it is to visit those graves.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, many of us will have good weather to do that as Remembrance Day approaches. We will have much more on the federal budget and what was announced today coming up at 6 o'clock. Hope to see you then.